Hello everybody, this is General Snivy and welcome back to more of the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Playthrough. Last time we completed 2 more levels and then my data got corrupted in the GameCube release. So it all started, for those of you who weren't there for the last session, yeah, ouch indeed. Let me go ahead and explain what happened. After completing 2 levels, I decided to pop into the Chow Garden to drop off some animals to Ren, aka the Chow who I was using for the Chow activities for later in the playthrough. Upon entering the Chow Garden, the game was like, data could not be found, please delete data from the memory card screen. And I was like, no, that can't be right. So I tried to do some troubleshooting midstream, and I thought, actually, no, let me explain what I did. First, I turned the game off, then turned it back on again. Tried reloading the game. Same issue, it persisted. Then I tried going into the Wii System menu to look at the memory card to see if the data really did corrupt itself somehow. I didn't see anything abnormal at first, so I looked at the data, then I tried to go back into the game, and then the Wii was spitting out errors saying, an error has occurred, please eject the game and see the Wii instruction manual for more information. Which was really strange. So, next thing I did was, I then took out the memory card, flew into it like I would a old school video game cartridge like on the Nintendo 64, reinserted it, restarted the game. It seemed to have worked at first. I was able to get into the Chow Garden and load the data, but upon leaving the Chow Garden after breathing a sigh of relief, the game was like, oops, data not found, please insert a memory card with the data. And that was when I lost it completely. I didn't even try to take out the memory card, reinsert it, and all that other crap. I then turned the system off, turned it back on again, and then I tried changing the memory card slot from slot A to slot B. Upon doing so, the game informed me that I needed to format the memory card, meaning the entire memory card corrupted itself. Great. So I went back into the Wii System menu because I did not want to format, yeah, triple ouch. So anyway, I went back into the system menu again, and sure enough, the Wii was like, this memory card cannot be used. Would you like to format it now? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So what the hell happened? No idea. So in the end, I lost all of my save data, all my progress that I've made for the Chow Garden, white. All the progress I made in the entire playthrough thus far, white. Clean. Like, gone. So, in the end, I decided to just cut the stream short because I had to figure something out. Thankfully, I have 2 other versions of the game that I could potentially play through. There was the Steam version, which I tried to play through originally, but it was having some freezing problems out the wazoo. So, that was kind of a last-ditch effort. I then decided to look into the Xbox 360 version of the game that I have. Funny enough, that was the version of the game I did a practice playthrough of before the GameCube version of the playthrough began. So, I then did a little bit of digging to figure out how I can just simply delete that particular game's save data. And to do this, when you have the game open, just push Start and Select, which are these 2 buttons here on the controller. You probably can't see them too well due to the camera and how small the buttons are, but anyway, you open up the Xbox guide by pushing those 2 buttons specifically, go to Manage Storage, exit out the game, and go into the cloud storage, navigate until you've reached the, your desired game that you want to manage the save data for, delete the data, do whatever you need to do. And that was how I managed to delete just this game's save data. So that way I could start fresh again. And upon doing so, I decided to just play through the game as fast as I could and just re-unlock the Chow Garden for everyone, which I did. I didn't start the Chow raising because I'll explain this in a few moments. But anywho, upon doing that, I went through the entire game again, and managed to regain all the emblems that I previously gained throughout the playthrough so far, including from the last session. So, at the end of the day, we finished at 127 emblems out of 180. So, I made sure to complete only the levels that I've completed previously and leave the levels that I have not yet completed the way they are. When it came to certain missions, I did manage to improve the ranks on some of them. For example, when it came to Meteor Herd, let me navigate down here. Meteor Herd, previously when I completed this mission throughout the GameCube playthrough, the previous rank I obtained was a C. It was a C rank. But for this playthrough, I managed to improve it to a B. Still not enough for an A, but still better than a frickin' C. When it came to Rouge and Mad Space, same sort of deal. It was a D rank originally when I finished, but for this playthrough, I managed to improve it to a B. So, all things considered, I did things pretty damn fast. Now, what I decided to do when it came to the Chow raising is, for now, I'm just going to focus on finishing the levels and getting all the A ranks. Once the A ranks are attained, then the Chow raising will be restarted. So that's going to be a fun time. So, yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to quote-unquote restore my Chow progress, but it's about as good as I can possibly get for now. The Chow Garden is unlocked for everyone, all characters, as you've seen right there. But, like I said, the whole Chow raising thing is going to be restarted, just due to the whole data corruption thing. I apologize, but this is just the way it is. How am I supposed to know that the game was going to be like, oh, I'm going to corrupt my frickin' save data for you because bugger off and fly into the sunset and call me Wendy? That was not a very good saying, but you get my point. Unpredictability at its finest, am I right? So anyway, in the last session we managed to complete Pumpkin Hill as well as Aquatic Mine. So in today's session, we're hopefully going to be completing more levels than just 2, and hopefully the game doesn't shit the bed. Again. Because I've already had enough technical problems as is. From the Steam playthrough being a complete shit show with freezing out the wazoo, to the GameCube just downright erasing all data midway through, or roughly 70% of the way through the entire playthrough. That was not a fun time. But even so, it is what it is. So at this point, the conscious decision I've made was to switch to the 360 version, because even though it has problems of its own, it is the most stable version of the game I have at the moment. Unfortunately. I could potentially fire the game up in Dolphin emulator, but I'd rather not use emulation if possible. I'm more of a person who likes to use original hardware as much as humanly possible. Sure, I made an exception in the past with Pokemon Red, but even so. It's not that I don't like emulation, don't get me wrong. Emulation is actually a really damn good thing. It's just, I'm more of someone who likes playing games on their original hardware. That includes re-releases. So if a re-release comes out on like a modern console, like in this case the Xbox 360, which is being played via backwards compatibility on Xbox One, then I'll play this. I don't mind playing something like this, honestly. So, yeah, I figured I'd explain everything that is going on here. Plus, the HD sort of re-releases comes with its own benefits, and, as I've mentioned previously, its own problems. We'll get into those as we come across them. Anywho, first stage we're going to take on today is going to be Prison Lane. So, let us begin. Yeah, definitely did not utilize this checkpoint system correctly. Restart. So, one thing to keep in mind is collecting rings as per usual is a good idea, along with ring capsules and things of that nature. But once you get up to like 60 rings, don't collect any more than 69 or 71 rings. I think the magic number is 74. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that is the magic number. The reason why is if you collect 75 rings or more, then the power-up you receive upon reaching that next checkpoint is only a pair of speed shoes. And that's not something you want for a 100 ring mission. So up here, for example, I have 54 rings. I think if I collect another 6 rings and then return to that checkpoint, then I should be okay and manage to collect 20 more rings as a result. Yeah, see what I mean? That's what you gotta do. You gotta manipulate the checkpoint system if you want that A rank. So, when it comes to the 360 version of the game, as I've mentioned on Twitter previously, the 360 and PlayStation 3 versions have a bit of a problem when it comes to audio mixing and cutscenes. Sure, Sonic Adventure 2 itself is infamous for this, where the sound mixing is pretty bad, but it's amplified even worse on 360 and PS3. This issue was sort of fixed in the Steam release, but it's still a problem regardless. Ain't that a fun time. Anyway, next up for the Lost Chow, we gotta find it within 2 minutes. Let's go! Another thing worth mentioning here when it came to the 360, PS3, and Steam versions of the game, I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet or not, or even at all in this playthrough, or more or less the successful starting of this playthrough, let's be real here. But the battle part of Sonic Adventure 2 originally was included in the GameCube release free of charge. It's included in the base game. But for some strange reason, on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, as well as Steam, the game's DLC, the Battle DLC, it's not free. Instead, it costs $5. Sure, $5 is not that big of a deal, and it's practically pocket change, all things considered. But even so, it does kind of suck that it's not included to begin with, considering the fact that it was included in the GameCube release for free. Even so, I'm just saying, it's kind of dumb. Thankfully, the Battle DLC is the only DLC you have to buy in this game. Alright, now for the Lost Chow, where this thing is... This is a pretty well-hidden Chow. Technically speaking, we've kind of been here before, several times actually, and managed to get the extra life capsule that was in here.
I did it!
So other than the whole sound mixing issue, the game itself on 360, PS3, and Steam are relatively flawless, minus some stability issues that I've experienced. mainly on Steam.
Select a stage.
I think speedrunners have found a way to mitigate or get rid of this issue altogether, though I don't quite know what this method is. Anyway, when it came to the 360 version, playing this on Xbox One via backwards compatibility, this game does hitch at random points. Like, randomly for no reason. I don't know why. And it usually lasts for roughly 3 seconds, and then the game gets back to normal. Might be an incompatibility issue, who knows. Regardless, let's move on. Mission 4. Mission 4 for Prison Lane, we gotta score 26,000 points. And we gotta do so within 3 minutes. So as you probably could tell, the 360, PS3, and Steam versions of the game have much faster load times in comparison to GameCube and Dreamcast. But again, it does come with its own fair share of problems, so be sure to keep this in mind. Out of the 3 sort of HD re-releases of the game, the Steam version is the definitive version, in my opinion. As I mentioned, yes, it does have some instability issues, but I feel as though if you do enough digging, you'll be able to figure out how to fix this issue in earnest. And once you do, it is a really damn good experience. So along with the faster load times, the 360, PS3, and Steam versions of this game also restored the big Easter eggs, which were originally absent in the GameCube release. So that is pretty cool. That Easter egg was brought back. I'm pretty sure you can find Big in most levels. In fact, I think you can find them at least once in every single level. So that's pretty neat. Hi there, buddy. Do me a favor and bugger off. See what I mean about the hitching? Like I said, this hitching, minor inconvenience. It's really not that bad, all things considered. It's better than freezing altogether on Steam.
I did it!
And it's not like this thing occurs all the time either. It only occurs, like, I'm gonna say roughly every 30 minutes, maybe? I haven't really figured out an exact pattern of when the hitching occurs, and I'm not 100% sure if this is just an incompatibility issue on Xbox One, or if this also happens on Xbox 360. Let's not worry about that right now. For now, though, time for hard mode. Hard mode Prison Lane. Score requirement 26,000 again. Let's go. They definitely made this mission quite a bit harder from the base version of the mission, for sure. How exactly, you may be wondering? Well, for one thing, I believe there's a lot more enemy ambushes. And there's also more powerful enemies just lingering around the bout saying like, "Hi, how are ya?" Ready to wreck your face in. Plus, I think they're more aggressive, too. Oh, hi. Gotta love them frickin' stealth clowns. Jeez. Hi. There's also obstacles like this that are added in the stage for whatever reason. The advice I can give when it comes to this particular stage is take your time progressing through this stage and try not to move too quickly. That way you're able to immediately stop if you notice an enemy ambush. They would put a capsule there. In fact, I think they removed that capsule for the hard version of this stage. Yeah. There is one more fault when it comes to the HD re-releases of this game. You might not notice it too much, or you may not have a keen eye for this, but there appears to be some texture issues that appear randomly throughout the different stages. This is most apparent in Route 280 as well as Route 101. Those stages specifically are the worst case scenario when it comes to the texture issue. So what I mean is the texture will just freak out as if it was suffering from corruption or something. Like a Vine Sauce video or something like that. Even so, I'm just saying. Oh my god, target him, damn it! Sheesh. And I can't seem to maintain blue health. God damn it, I missed the freaking robot. I'm on fire, damn it. Knew he was going to be there, too. One more thing worth mentioning here is that compared to my previous run of this whole freaking game, I definitely got here a lot more quickly than last time, for sure. It also helped that I didn't do any chow racing whatsoever in this playthrough as of yet. Maybe there was another one around here. Okay. Aha! More stealth clowns! I know that's not exactly what they're called, but even so. Okay, hopefully this will be enough. Excellent.
I did it, Sonic!
Here we go. Prison Lane is complete.